Innan vi sätter igång så vill vi bara be er om lyssna på det här.
We put a lot of time in this and would appreciate if you could support us through Patreon for as little as 10 crowns a month.
Men Jonathan, är det inte svårt att bli Patreon?
No, you just go to patreon.com/teachmesweden. We spend our time doing this and it'll be nice to get a little something back.
Men hur betalar man? Måste man använda något jobbigt PayPal-system?
No, you just get it directly from your bank account and subscribe, and it gets taken out every month as little as 10 crowns a month. And then we even have other levels for people that want to give more. They can get more back.
Yeah.
We try to increase that as much as we can. We really appreciate the support. Just go to patreon.com/teachmesweden.
Do it! Välkomna till Teach Me Sweden. Det här är en humoristisk historiepodcast där två stycken komiker försöker lära varandra svensk historia. Jag heter Erik Broström.
And I'm Jonathan Rollins, and in this episode I'll be teaching Erik about people that we know some about, but we get to know more about as they plunder.
Exakt. Vi pratar om dubbla enhörningar. That's what we're talking about.
Yes, so stay tuned for this one.
Happy now.
Oh, hey! Thank you for clarifying.
Jag ska försöka ledsen nästa gång och se hur det går. Oh no! Nej, det är så negativt. Det ska vara kul.
We don't want that.
Ja, rädsla eller glädje eller förvåning. Vi håller oss till dem.
Yes. I'm going to be reading to Erik today. You get to sit back and just be funny, man.
Love it.
Love it.
I hope so.
Yes. you will be funny, man.
Okay.
Don't just play along.
Okay.
All right.
I'm so fucking funny.
Exactly. Get into it. All right, I'm going to begin by saying this story is so old that a lot of it is from verbal accounts.
Okay.
Passed on.
Oh.
So it might be less accurate than our other 100% spot on episodes.
Typ så här bibliskt sant.
Yeah. Or just when have we ever said something wrong? Nobody's, you know.
Precis, det finns ingen rätt och fel här. Yeah. Smart. Jag ska också bara börja med 800-talets här kan vi bara säga bara köra story därifrån.
So there was a magical gnome. And this is the story of the first Swedish unicorn.
Okay.
Just go full on fantasy.
Yeah.
I've been watching too much House of the Dragon.
Yeah.
All right. This episode be going all the way back to the 800s, not the 1800s.
No,
but the 800s. Officially the oldest Teach Me Sweden story yet.
Wow.
Scandinavians of the time were populating the land, becoming more of a modern civilization. Like they were starting to create cities. You know what I mean? Land back then wasn't as easy to convert into livable for humans. It's not like they had bulldozers and shit.
Nej, det var i Sverige.
Yeah, so this area was experiencing what some considered overpopulation.
För många här?
It was just like they felt like, you know, you couldn't like plow it out and make a whole apartment complex. So it was just like, we got to figure something out.
Så på jättemånga hektar så kunde man vara typ 2 personer. Och det var allt som det var allt man kunde få ut av det för att leva.
This story is the beginning of the Bostadskö.
Ja.
So some people, some inhabitants decided to take to the sea in order to find other land to inhabit or find other sea vessels, possibly gain riches from them.
Ja, jag tror jag vet vilka du syftar på.
These sea nomads, as I'd like to call them,
de har inga andra namn,
will become notorious throughout Europe.
Yeah.
Some called them pirates and some called them Vikings.
Aldrig talas om.
Yeah, it's a football team in America.
Har du sett Vikings-serien?
No, I have not.
Nej.
But there's a fun fact I want to throw in here, since obviously we'll be talking about Vikings. There is the football team in America, the Minnesota Vikings. A lot of people from Sweden.
Yeah, that's right.
live in Minnesota with the whole movement. A lot of people moved to Minnesota. And not many teams have a war cry.
Men de har det.
The Minnesota Vikings have a war cry.
Okay.
And if you watch preseason football before the season starts, you get to see this local coverage. So I was watching local coverage of American football, the Minnesota Vikings, and all the people were tweeting, and they were putting the tweets on the bottom of the screen. They were rolling by, and every fan ended their tweet with #Skål.
Nej.
I couldn't believe it.
Is that their war cry?
That's their war cry. Skål!
Herregud.
I was like, this is so Swedish.
Gud vad roligt.
There's so many Swedes there. The Minnesota Vikings. I think if I was in charge of the NFL, the local team here in Sweden, I would show all of their games, the Vikings games, because obviously it's tied to Sweden. But whatever.
Sant.
Anyway, that's my little quick story, sidetrack. They were known to take what they want in a savage manner.
Så typiskt svenskt, även idag.
What's not widely reported about the Vikings is how far they traveled.
Nej.
And how organized and sophisticated they were when it came to nautical endeavors. They reported to have sailed as far as North America as early as the late 700s and were well versed in attack strategies at sea.
Det är helt sjukt. Varför har ni Columbus Day där borta? It's laughable.
It's ridiculous.
Han hade mycket bättre...
And it's called America after someone who got there before.
Ja, exakt, det också.
Amerigo Vespucci, whatever.
Ja, visst. Jävla Columbus. Gjorde ju ingenting.
Nothing. Just killed a bunch of people and it's horrible.
Ja.
Monday... We're recording this. Monday is Columbus Day.
Nej, är det?
Yeah, next Monday is the holiday.
Okay. Not shout out to Columbus.
Exactly. Now they're calling it Indigenous Peoples Day or something.
De har bytt.
Yeah.
Ja, det är bra. Ja, vad bra. Men då hela den här lilla vampen.
Except for Italians. Italian Americans.
Ja.
Like, hey, it's a hey!
Men vadå, är inte han spanjor, Columbus? Var han italienare?
For some reason, Italians love get mad about it.
Jag vill att han ska vara... Nu vill jag att han ska vara spanjor. Och de bara... Hey, it's Columbus Day!
Hey, what do you mean?
Vad fan cool!
What does he mean? He said hasta luego. He said hasta mañana.
Okej. Ja, bra att de har bytt i alla fall.
The Vikings who invaded Western and Eastern Europe were mainly from the same area as present-day Denmark, Norway, and Sweden. They also settled in the Faroe Islands, Ireland, Iceland, peripheral Scotland, this place called Caithness, the Hebrides and Northern Isles, Greenland, and Canada. That's how far these dudes were.
Caithness?
I think that's part of it says it's in parentheses next to Scotland.
Ja, för de ägde väl, nu bara för att jag har sett Vikings, men det är ganska mycket fiktion där. Men för jag för mig att de var i England och ägde lite mark.
Yes,
och hade
their North Germanic language, Old Norse, became the mother tongue of present-day Scandinavian languages. By 801, a strong central authority appears to have been established in Jutland, and they were beginning to look beyond their own territory for land and plunder. Trade and plunder. The earliest date given for a Viking raid is 789.
Wow.
When, according to the Anglo-Saxon Chronicle, imagine that newspaper. The white paper!
When can we go to print? In a fortnight.
They sailed to the Isle of Portland in Dorset. They were mistaken for merchants by a royal official. Hey, you with the horns in your helmet.
What's this war cry you keep talking about? What are you trying to purchase?
Where is the skull?
Well, we don't have any bowls here.
So the person actually said, hey, you, please come to the king's manor to pay trading tax on your goods.
Och de bara,
So they murdered him.
Yeah.
Could you pay? Ouch! Ouch! You're hurting me.
Welcome.
Taxes.
Men had it coming?
Yeah. How you meet somebody ask for taxes?
Yeah.
Come on, man. The beginning of the Viking Age in the British Isles is often set to 793. It was recorded in I said that Anglo-Saxon Chronicle that the Northmen raided the important island monastery of Lindisfarne, and they said it's June of that year. Here's from the Anglo-Saxon Chronicle.
Yes.
This year came dreadful forewarnings over the land of the Northumbrians, terrifying the people most woefully. These were immense sheets of light rushing through the air, and whirlwinds and fiery dragons flying across the firmament. These tremendous tokens were soon followed by a great famine.
Pause. Dragons?
Hey, this is a direct quote from the...
Men deras båtar kunde ju vara lite så här, ha lite så här...
Maybe they had some flames, you know, maybe they're holding some
och lite så här
fire.
drakhuvuden. Men det kanske bara är en myt att de hade det i och för sig. Men det känns så... Dragons?
Yeah,
det här är inte bra journalistik.
This is fictional literature. They are painting a picture that's probably terrifying all of England now.
Dragons
They're helping the Vikings.
They breathe fire upon us, and Galadriel came down from the mountain. Okay.
Like, whoa. Larry. So these tremendous tokens were soon followed by a great famine, and not long after, on the 6th day before the Ides of January in the same year, the narrowing inroads of heathen men made lamentable havoc in the Church of God in Holy Island by rapine and slaughter.
Det är så kul också att det är engelsmän, för man tycker att så här, vikingar mot engelsmän på den tiden, det känns som att de har ingen chans. De är lite så här, hello! Men det var ju inte så, men man får ju den bilden.
Yeah, I was gonna say they fought valiantly. Actually. In 794, according to the Annals of Ulster, a serious attack was made on the House of Iona, which was followed in 795 by raids upon northern coast of Ireland. They just keep coming back to. From bases there, the Norsemen attacked Iona again in 802. So they're like, oh yeah, remember that place? Remember we raped and pillaged? Let's go. Let's re-rape.
Great rape resort. Let's go back there.
I don't know, man. What do you want to do next year?
Well, let's do the same. Du vill ju aldrig åka någon annanstans. Men då gillar ju det här.
And somebody's Viking child is spoiled. But I want to go back. Can we pillage again?
Kom igen, i Irland. Det är aldrig bra väder.
So they came back in 802, causing great slaughter amongst the Sela brethren and burning the abbey to the ground. The Vikings primarily targeted Ireland until 830, as England and the Carolingian Empire was able to fight them off. Yeah. However, after 830, the Vikings had considerable success against England, that empire, and other parts of Western Europe. After 830, the Vikings exploited disunity within the Carolingian Empire. They must have watched Game of Thrones. As well as pitted the English kingdoms against each other.
Snyggt. Inte bara vildar, utan
exactly. That's what was not remembered.
Det är det som gör det lite obehagligt. För att om de var typ så här, knulla och döda, då kan man inte förstå, är konstigt, men då kan jag i alla fall, jag kan greppa det. Men om det är typ så här, ja men och sen så tar vi är väldigt bra på sjöfart, så att vi åker dit och sen så ser vi till att vinden ligger rätt och sen så knullar och dödar vi jättemånga och sen så spelar vi ut dem mot varandra. Alltså det är något så äckligt med att men de vill fortfarande våldta och döda. Men de är liksom helt brighta i huvudet. Det är skabbigt.
It's a nightmare. While the initial raiding groups were small, a great amount of planning is believed to have been involved, obviously, as you're highlighting. The Vikings raided during the winter of 840 to 841 rather than the usual summer. They raided in the winter.
Oh, stepping up.
And they waited in an island off of Ireland. So they just wait over there. Everybody's like, oh, they won't be back. It's not the summer. Finally can relax. For the Europeans at the time, this must have been experienced as an explosion of activity from the Nordics. Because out of a Nordic population of perhaps 800,000 people in total, there were enough young seafaring warriors to conquer large parts of the British Isles and Ireland, where they founded kingdoms for a few centuries. They discovered Iceland and Greenland. They wintered in Newfoundland and fought with the Native Americans.
Shit.
And that's Canada.
Where's that movie?
I know, right?
That would be a great movie.
They founded a kingdom in northern France, Normandy.
Yeah,
and one in Russia.
Just det.
They sailed down the Russian rivers to the Black Sea and the Caspian Sea. They were in Byzantium's capital, which is the Eastern Roman Empire. Constantinople.
Jesus.
Where hundreds of Norwegians served as the emperor's elite guards.
För då var ju Konstantinopel, det var ju romarrikets huvudstad.
Right. Exactly.
Alltså då, när de byggde Konstantinopel så blev det capital.
Yeah. And they came to Caliphate's Baghdad.
Hur fan kan de ta sig så långt?
They returned again and again to conquer London, burn Hamburg, and threaten Paris and Lisbon. It's just like, are you here? You here? All right, let's do. All right, on the boat.
De hade sina favoritplatser.
They sailed through Gibraltar. Sold slaves to Morocco. Stormed Seville and Mallorca. They were busy, organized, and effective. Their belief system, which is what this episode is about, was Old Norse religion.
Yeah.
Which was polytheistic, entailing a belief in various gods and goddesses. These deities in Norse mythology were divided into two groups, the Aesir and the Vanir. Who, and veneer just means you fix your teeth. Who, that's where it comes from.
Yeah.
Some sources were said to have engaged in an ancient war until realizing they were equally powerful, the Aesir and the Vanir.
Okay.
Amongst the most widespread deities were the gods Odin and Thor. Yeah, exactly.
Frej.
That's all I got is Odin and Thor.
Okay. Frej,
Wednesday and Thursday, that's it.
Frej var en gudinna, jag tror det var krig eller kärlek.
I do not know.
I don't know.
This world was inhabited also by various other mythological races besides black, including Jötnar, dwarfs, elves, and landwights.
Men det var inte samma sorts alver, va? Utan det var mer liksom så här, tror jag. Jag tror inte det var inte den där sköldsurfande tönt alven i Sagan om ringen, utan
but it was non-like humans. Norse cosmology revolved around a world tree known as Yggdrasil.
Just det.
You knew this?
I know some of this.
With various realms existing alongside that of humans named Midgard.
Ja, men det vet jag också, för att jag har sett Marvel. Men jag har också varit en ganska, du vet, så här, inbiten ateist. Och då har jag pluggat ganska mycket religioner. Så Frej var en kille, men det var en fruktbarhetsgud. Så the god of love.
Okay. These include multiple afterlife realms, several of which are controlled by a particular deity, transmitted through oral culture rather than through codified text. The Old Norse religion, focused heavily on ritual practice, with kings and chiefs playing a central role in carrying out public acts of sacrifice.
Yeah.
Sounds fun, man.
Yeah.
So these people believing this are going around and fucking terrifying Europe and North America and Middle East. Like,
slakta lite i världen och sen åker vi hem och slaktar någon av våra egna.
Yeah, exactly. Various cultic spaces were used initially. Outdoor spaces such as groves and lakes were typically selected, but after the 3rd century, CE cult houses seem to have been purposely built for ritual activity, although they were never widespread. So they had different sacrificial rituals and whatnot.
Har du exempel eller? På olika ritualer?
No.
Nej.
Well, no.
Nej, okej. Nej.
Norse society also contained practitioners of Seor, a form of sorcery that some scholars describe as shamanistic. I was shocked that I just thought Vikings were kill. But this is very complex.
Men jag har också hört att de hade inte ens horn. Alltså de här hjälmarna som man alltid ser.
Oh, that's just bullshit?
Yeah. They just have regular helmets.
Just scaring the shit out. It's because of that damn article.
Yeah.
People thought it was dragons and fucking fire and shit.
There's a bunch of double unicorns heading this way.
Exactly. Various forms of burial were conducted, including both inhumation and cremation, typically accompanied by a variety of grave goods. So they put stuff in there.
Visst det. De här ska du ha med dig.
Yeah. You like to smoke? But throw a pack of cigarettes in there.
Let's light one up and throw it in there.
Wait a minute. That's a bad idea. Throughout its history, varying levels of transcultural diffusion occurred among neighboring peoples, such as the Sami and the Finns, to influence their culture. One thing that made the Vikings hard to pin down was they had no home. There was not like a home base. They're so spread out. You couldn't be like, we'll take down Viking land. You know what I mean? It's not like they were taking orders from a physical government that you could take out in order to destroy them. They were independent. The closest thing to a home base that they could be linked to was an island called Björkö. Have you heard of Björkö?
No.
It's located in what's now Sweden, of course. And it's actually not far from here off Lake Mälaren. In Ekerö. You know Ekerö.
Ekerö?
Yeah.
Inte alls samma rykte nu.
The Vikings ran a trading post in a town on the island that was known as Birka.
Birka känner jag igen.
Okay. Yeah. Birka was founded around 750 AD. And it flourished for more than 200 years. It's been estimated that the population in Viking Age Birka was between 500 and 1,000 people. The archaeological sites of Birka and Hovgården on the neighboring island of Adelsö. You know about that, right?
Maybe.
Maybe I do because I used to work with maps and shit. Make up an archaeological complex which illustrates the elaborate trading networks of Viking Scandinavia and the influence on the subsequent history of Europe. Because they're moving around so much, they're just taking shit and bringing it, all this stuff is ending up back here.
Right.
That they're taking from all over the place. It's generally regarded as Sweden's oldest town because it was not really, they used to call it Svealand.
Just det.
But it's not like Sweden yet.
No.
So it's like Sweden's oldest town. Birka has been a World Heritage Site since 1993. Many burial sites have been uncovered at Birka, leading to the finding of many objects, including jewelry and many textile fragments.
And a burned out cigarette.
This corpse is burned. In recent years, objects from Birka have been in the public eye due to ongoing academic research. They're digging right now over there. Like it's like a archaeological excavation.
It is sant.
Yeah, because there's so much stuff there from all over. You find different shit from all over the world.
Shit, vad lata de har varit. Varför så lång tid kan de inte ta? Kom igen nu, snap it up.
I was talking to my friend about it. He's like, he said it's like a cool thing to go see now. You can go check out the people there. Of course, they live like Vikings now and all that shit. Yeah,
what?
That's
weird.
There's people that kind of cosplay the shit.
Men inte de som håller på och gräver?
No, the ones there are professional archaeologists that are like trying to, scientists and shit.
Okej, då så. Herregud.
But there's the reason they're in the public eye is because of ongoing academic research connecting Birka to evidence of trade with the Middle East.
Coolt.
So it's pretty cool that it was like the first like globalization. When you think about it.
Så jävla flummigt. Men de var väl också, för att de kan ju inte plundra överallt, då skulle de inte få något samarbeten. De måste ju varit handelsmän också. Och valt typ så här: döda dem, vi handlar med dem. Så måste det ha varit.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, and then some people probably didn't back down because I'm the king. You know what I mean? So they're like, all right. You ask me for taxes?
Eller så var det så här: I'm not that horny today. Should we just trade?
Yeah, man. My sword's dull. I haven't sharpened it after the last slaughtering of people.
And I'm speaking about my sword and my dick, if you know what I mean.
If you know what I mean.
Jävla idioter. Precis. Nej, men så de måste ju haft någon slags affärsmässigt.
We'll get to there in a bit.
Okay.
It's one of the earliest urban settlements of Scandinavia. It's Birka. Birka was the Baltic link in the Dnieper trade route through Ladoga and Novgorod. A bunch of places, all right? I'm not going to go into reading all these places again. They offer furs, iron goods, craft products in exchange for various materials in much of Europe and Western Asia. Furs were obtained from the Sami people, the Finns, and people in northwestern Russia, as well as local trappers. They included bear, fox, marten, otter, beaver, and other species. Reindeer antlers and objects carved from reindeer antlers like combs.
Yeah.
I didn't know you could make a comb out of reindeer antlers. Were important items of trade. They traded walrus teeth, amber, and honey. Like
honey.
Amber and honey.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
That's documented. Foreign goods from the graves of Burka include glass and metalware, pottery from the Rhineland, clothing and textiles, including Chinese silk.
Jesus Christ.
Isn't that crazy?
Det är fan galet. En viking som springer runt i silkes. En silkespyjamas.
It was a flowing dragon fire.
No, idiot. It was shiny cloth.
It was Chinese silk, man. It's not a dragon, you racist. Just because it's Chinese doesn't make it a dragon. Byzantine embroidery with extremely fine gold thread. I don't know what some of these words are, but some good fabrics. That's basically what it's saying. I can't say some of these words.
Cashmere? Jag skojar bara.
Then there was this King Louis the Pious. He was the emperor of the Franks. And the Franks is what we now would call France, Belgium, and Western Germany. So it's a pretty big chunk out of Europe.
Cool, yeah.
And Louis the Pious, he knew about these savage Vikings. Word was getting around. These dragons. And he determined that they needed to be pacified or made civil. He wanted to, water them down. And he thought that the way that you teach savages to be better is to
tax them.
I heard someone tried to text them and he is no longer with us. Our new tactic is going to be to introduce them to Christ.
Såklart. Det funkar ju alltid.
Enter Benedictine monk Saint Ansgar. Saint Ansgar vowed to spread Christianity as far as he could.
Okay.
And he said he would be the one that could spread it to the Viking people, get them to understand their ways were not becoming of this world. He embarked on his journey.
Yeah.
A Christian historian who came after him was another like a bishop, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Described the journey of Mr. Saint Ansgar.
Okay.
Ansgar undertook the mission committed to him by the emperor, who desired that he should go to the Swedes and discover whether this people was prepared to accept the faith as their messengers had declared. Ansgar was already experienced in missionary work in Denmark, and he set forth to Sweden. It may suffice for me to say that while they were in the midst of their journey, they fell into the hands of pirates.
Yeah.
So more Vikings.
Yeah.
Were like, hey, you, come over here. The merchants with whom they were traveling defended themselves vigorously and for a time successfully, but eventually they were conquered and overcome by the pirates, who took them from their ships and all that they possessed.
Wow.
Whilst they themselves barely escaped on foot.
Okay.
To land with great difficulty, they accomplished their long journey on foot, traversing also the intervening seas, where it was possible by ship, and eventually arrived at a Swedish port called Burka. So they're like, we're going to teach you about Jesus. Take my boat. Oh, take my clothes. Let me get out of here.
And he was from the Franks, right?
Yeah, he was from the Franks.
Excuse-moi. I was wondering if you have heard about the Jesus Christ, the Savior. And what is that? An axe? What are you doing with an axe?
Exactly. Oh, you're taking my boat. My boat is going away. I found some more information about it that states that the seas they were talking about is probably lakes. That's how they could cross them, like without a ship.
Yeah.
And there's so many lakes here. So he must have been like the Stockholm metro area is what I'm thinking, especially when Birka is Eckerö.
Yeah, right.
So they cross they made this journey, and then they said they found like a small boat or makeshift, or maybe they stole it. Maybe they didn't want to say that. Yeah, they stole a little ship.
Men de var någonstans vid Alby.
Oh yeah. He made it to Birka in the summer of 830.
Okay. Det är så sjukt när det är så tidigt, för det låter som ett klockslag. Yeah. He made it there about 8:30.
He was there at 8:30. On the dot too. We are always punctual.
We are the French, we are the Franks, we are punctual. Our future people will not be punctual. They will not give a shit about time.
But we do. Then there was a guy, of course, the king of Svealand was named Björn.
Självklart. Vad fan ska det annars vara?
And he was like, what are you talking about, bro? What's this Jesus stuff? We got Norse gods and goddesses. What are you talking about? He wasn't convinced that Christ was the way. But he did think, as we talked about, he thought about the positives that could come with saying you're Christian. With Christianity, he could make contact with the leading political and economic forces in Europe. It was good for business.
Smart.
So King Björn decided there was only one way to solve this difficult decision. He was still a Viking. He said, we're going to cast a lot, what we would call flipping a coin or drawing straws.
Oh, wow.
And back then, I don't know what they did, but casting a lot is what they call it.
Yeah.
So, who knows? It could have been, okay, we're going to shoot such and such.
We're going to chop your hand off, and if you don't scream, we're Christians.
If the blood falls on your left foot first, then... So he left it up to chance, basically. So whichever lot they choose, Christian God won, and Sweden would now be Christian.
Wow!
He even said, yo, you could build a church. And they built the first church on Birka.
Alltså, jag är säker på att kristendomen hade kommit in senare ändå. Men tänk dig om den hade flipped the coin the other way. Eller vad det nu var de gjorde.
They probably would have killed that dude.
Yeah, och vi hade fortfarande...
Yeah, we'd be out here praying to the Norse gods. And
och jag hade varit såhär, Marvel! Heathens!
We hate it! We do not allow
religious movies!
Yes, exactly. But it wasn't easy for Christ to penetrate into Sweden.
Nej?
No. The mission went slowly. Mm-hmm. And very few allowed themselves to be baptized. So let me get this straight.
You're gonna drown me?
I have drowned people. I know what happens when you hold people underwater. Fuck that.
So now I'm just gonna take your head.
No.
And slowly. No, I'm just gonna slowly.
No, get your hands on me, man.
Just on the surface. No. Please trust me. What is that? An axe? What are you doing?
I come in peace. Put your head under the water. So they're like, you are not baptizing me. So a few people did, but not that many.
I'm sorry, bad start. Drink this. It's blood.
This is a man. This man, he died for you.
Yes.
You eat him?
He died for you. He knows me? Yes. He knows everyone.
He's your brother. Like, I'm gonna stick with the Thor. I like Thor more. I don't have to eat Thor.
But he walked on water. And why are you trying to put me in it?
Exactly. Ansgar probably worked mostly with thralls and prisoners of war. Because they were already Christians, so he kind of hung out with them. And then he left Birk after a year or so, with only like converting a few people. He's just like, man, they don't really believe. He knew they weren't real believers, but they were just gonna play the game.
Vad jobbigt det måste vara att alla typ såhär, ja, vi är kristna.
Yeah, sure.
Kul.
Yeah, God bless. Do all kinds of signs. They were, however, more established politically because of that decision to say that they're
smart.
Sweden continued to grow as a European power. They still weren't completely Christian, but they were more open to the concept. Ansgar came back 2 more times. He was really really dedicated to trying to turn them out. Once in 48, back in 848.
Yeah.
And then he came back a few minutes later at 8:54. They're like, damn, this boy.
28 minutes later, he's fast.
Christianity finally took a stronghold in the late 900s when Olaf Skötkonung took the throne.
Olav Skötkonung?
Yeah, that was his name.
Det låter som 2 saker. It's like Shot King, Skötkonung, Or it's like skötrum, which is where you change your baby's diapers.
I don't know, that's what it was called. Skötkon. I've never seen anything like that.
Nej, han kanske behövde bytas på. Han kanske
maybe the throne was the toilet.
Oh, of course.
No, he took the throne and he was Christian already.
Han var redan det, okej. Okay.
So he was like, oh yeah, I'm cool with you, Ansgar. I'm Christian already. And now I'm the king. And now I'm Christian. His father, Erik, was the king before him.
Okay.
But his father had denounced Christianity.
Som jag.
Before he died, yeah.
Yeah, my namesake.
The real Erik.
Yeah.
Will the real Erik please stand up?
Oh, hell.
The emperor of the Franks was right. Christianity would lead to the pacification of the Viking Swedes.
Ja. Och så blev det vi.
Yeah, the rise of the Christian faith is considered the main contributor to the fall of the Viking Age.
Fan, undrar hur långt vi hade kommit.
There's little historical mention of actual Vikings after the year 1200.
Shit.
So that just died. I mean, it's still a couple hundred more years, but that died out. Once they went, there are, of course, some people that took up some Viking traditions starting in the late 1800s. Or starting in the 1800s, not late 1800s, but then Viking traditions started in the 1800s.
Okay.
So they got interested in it. It's more like cosplay.
Yeah.
So it's estimated that between 500 and 1,000 people still have the Viking feasts, prayers to Norse gods, and ceremonies of old. These people are called weirdos.
Yeah. No shit.
No, I don't know. They don't have a name for them, but they just adhere to the
Lever
Norse gods.
Eller leker? Alltså, gör de det hela tiden eller då
No,
och
I think
då?
they pick time. Like it looked like they go to they have these outdoor rituals and stuff like that.
För då är det ju mer som live och det är väl okej.
Yeah.
Antar jag.
I may deep dive one day into the Viking Age in the future on this podcast, but for now, that is the story of Viking religion.
Awesome possum, man! Fan, jävligt coolt. Jag kände igen en hel del, men det är för att jag sett den där serien. Men det var mycket som jag inte hajade också. Men det var kul, för jag trodde att de hittade på massa i serien. Så det var ganska kul att höra en återberättelse som faktiskt sa saker jag kände igen också.
Oh, yeah,
för jag kommer ihåg att de var i Ryssland i serien och håller på. Och jag vet typ såhär, de var inte varit i Ryssland. Fan, de var
they were fucking everywhere.
No fucking way, they were sailors. They didn't go to Russia, Russia's land. Tänkte jag. Jag sitter och skriker väldigt mycket för mig själv när jag tittar på saker.
But that's it, man. That was
underbart.
Fun one to find. It feels like there's so much like meat on that.
Yeah.
I just had to focus on the religion part and kind of.
Plus att som du säger, den är ju berättad mun till mun i princip. Och det finns jättelite nedskrivet, så det är svårt att liksom.
And some of the stuff that's written is on actual stone.
Runstenar.
Runestenar. Yeah, exactly. That's crazy.
That's
man.
cool, yeah. With a language no one understands.
Yeah, I know, right? All right. Well,
cool.
Thank you all for checking this episode of Teach Me Sweden out. Don't forget you can hit us up with some stories you might want to ask us.
Exakt, skriv på svenska till mig och på engelska till Jonathan.
Yes, teachmesweden@gmail.com.
Snyggt. Och skriv i ämnesraden vem det är till så är det lättare.
Oh yeah. And also you can support us on Patreon, patreon.com/teachmesweden. For as little as 10 crowns a month you can contribute and support to help us out.
Alltså får jag 10 spänn av er? Fan vad jag är uppe i smöret då alltså.
Yeah.
Om jag får 10 kronor till. 10 kronor till.
You can swish me at 0654 33729.
And you can swish me at 12345556555. Okay.
It's been Jonathan Rollins.
Och Erik Broström.
See y'all later. Teacher you Sweden. Peace.